Hi, it's Andrea with Eggert Equine Sports Massage. Today I wanted to talk about kind of a hot topic in bodywork world, which is Rib Entrapment Syndrome. So I wanted to explain what that was in case you've seen it and don't really understand what it is. But it really goes along with a lot of the things that I've talked about in other videos about fascia restrictions and different things like that. So in a horse, the first 8 ribs are attached both at the spine and underneath at the sternum. So if you have a muscle that surrounds that rib that is tight or has a restriction in it, it's going to kind of trap that rib so it can't expand and move like it should for respiration and for bending and all the things that ribs do. Because they are attached on both sides, you're going to see restrictions on both sides of the horse's body. So I like to use the analogy of a spider web, and that actually really plays into this part as well. So picture a spider web covering your whole horse's core. So if you had on the serratus muscle here, say there was a fly that got entrapped in that spider web, it's going to pull all those muscles from both sides of the body. So if it's on this left side of the horse here, like is on Frosty, you're going to see this shoulder be higher than the other side. You're going to see just more protrusion from the left side if you were looking directly from the hind end and they were standing square. You'll see the horse is leaning on the medial side of their opposite hoof, and you'll also see tightness in the right hip. So it's going to pull from those opposite sides of the body. The neck is going to brace. You're going to see tension in the neck when they're trying to bend. And if you want to feel how this actually feels to your horse, I'm not going to do it for this video, but if you were to stand or get on all fours and just kind of poke your ribs to one side or the other, not the hips, but the ribs, you're going to see where pretend this is your hoof, you're going to see where the pressure is. You're going to see how your neck can't bend the way that it's supposed to. You're going to see how your hips kind of poke out, and that's exactly what happens in the horse when it has this restriction. So what can we do for it? We can use kinesiology tape. That's a really great method of relieving this, especially along the top line, because there's so many insertion points to these muscles that we're talking about that actually attach along the top line. So that's a really great way to start to relieve this. There are different restriction or ways that we can use body work to relieve the fascia. We have to relieve the fascia restriction before we can get the muscle. So it's kind of like one before the other. So we have to get the fascia to where that should be and gliding smoothly across itself. And then we can get that muscle back the way that it should be so that all of the other muscles can fall back into place. So if you have seen something with your horse where you think like one side is higher than the other in the shoulders, is a really easy way for a layperson to see this. There are other ways you can tell directly from the front of the horse too. Maybe I'll be able to attach some pictures below this, but that would be a good way to tell, like maybe your horse does need some body work to kind of relieve this so that they can expand their ribs the way that they should and be able to bend and do lateral work like they should. Of note, this is really only seen in horses that are in work. It's not something that you're going to see in a horse that hasn't been used by humans. So it really does come from whether it's poor saddle fit, imbalanced riding, the work that they're doing. This different thing cause these restrictions, but it's really from what we do with our horses. So we really owe it to them to make sure that we are doing appropriate body work and warm-ups and all the different things that we talk about keeping your horse healthy. So this is just one of those other things where that fascia and the muscles become restricted along the rib cage and how that all kind of comes into play. So I hope this made sense to you. Frosty is soaking wet right now. We just got back from a trail ride, so I apologize for his appearance today, but I wanted to get this video out so that we could talk about it. If you have any questions about this, please comment below or send me a message if it's something you want to talk about in private with your own scenario. If you're following this or watching this on YouTube, please make sure that you subscribe so that you can get more tips and tricks for working with your horses. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day.